All right, here we are in round two. We've got Jake on the left, Dan on the right,
Presenting the deck like a boss.
and looks like Dan's deciding to keep.
If I remember correctly, it's a bad hand. A lot of green cards, no green mana. The first of many mountains.
Jake presents a turn back, rapid succession.
He was hoping to get a lot of success with the Lone Riders. I believe he does in this game. I play a Brazen Wolves. Very good card.
That's Deranged Whelp, actually.
That's what I meant. Very good card. Like it. See, thumbs up.
Got some menace action. Not going to be able to stop the 1/1 first striker, though.
No, can't do much against that. But I'm content. I got a forest, and I'll get in there for 2 myself.
Jake possibly suggesting not to attack?
I feel like that was some sort of a premonition that I did not pick up on.
Looks like Jake plays a Blessed Alliance there with just one mode, forcing Dan to sack the creature. Gets in for 1.
Steadily gaining life. Lone Rider doing some work.
Jake's at 22 life, Dan's at 18. Presents it in all of its glory. See, is that Uvenvold Captive? Is that what we're looking at? It's one that produces mana?
Yeah, it transforms to a 4/6.
Yeah, apologize for the quality here. We're going to try a different setup next time. Get better lighting, what have you.
The deck was, in theory, really good. 2 Smoldering Wolves, Spirit of the Hunt, 2 Shrill Howlers, 2 Brazen Wolves, 2 Uvenwold Captives. It did not seem to produce the way I needed it to, though.
Looks like Jake plays Thalia, Heretic, Cathar. So I'm going to go ahead and say that word.
I do believe it's Cathar.
Cathar, okay. There's Collective Defiance with no additional modes, just the 3 damage, or the 4 damage
4 damage target creature. Can't be having all my stuff come into play tapped.
There's a Kessig Prowler. No response from Jake.
The fury of the shuffling is real, folks. I don't know if you see this in the top right. You'll probably see it again.
It definitely had to zoom in there and get a close-up on that action. He plays Long Road Home, flickers his creature, gets a counter, passes turn. What do you think about here, Dan? What are you doing? What's going through your mind here?
I've got a lot of cards in my hand that are not going to help me this turn. Double blue, or double green rather, was difficult to achieve without any type of mana fixing.
Yeah, there's very little mana fixing in this format. I think that's why Jake wanted to go mono white. Alright, so gets in there. Jake takes some damage.
Yeah.
Looks like he's at 20, you're at 18. Sanctifier of Souls from Jake.
Pretty good card.
I ran a copy. I thought it was pretty good.
Not sure the real value in standard, but pretty neat. It's always nice to get a effect when your creature dies.
Yeah, there's usually one intro pack or pre-release. I don't even know what they call it. Intro packs, pre-built. What do we call them back in the beginning of Magic days? Pre-constructed decks.
Pre-constructed decks.
Yeah, pre-constructed decks, folks. There's always one of those pre-constructed rares that ends up being playable in standard. I'm not sure if it's that one though. I would expect Nibelus of Frost or the blue one. I don't know if that's what it's called.
Yeah, you get a Spirit of the Hunt here. You see, my creatures just aren't as value as this mono white here.
Doesn't the captive produce a green when you tap it?
I do believe he does.
That'd be the only way you could play Spirit.
Yes, that would be correct.
Alright, gets in with Spirit and Prowler. Again, apologize for the lighting. We're going to have a better solution next time. Just was tired of getting everything ready. Wanted to get something out there.
I do believe at this point Jake was refilling his glass of beer. I get very anxious.
I was wondering what the delay was.
I want him to take the attack, and finally he arrives back at the table and we can commence the playing. So now you see a borrowed hostility.
So that's looks like, yeah, both of the modes were paid there, or one of the modes? Yeah, 4 mana, so both modes were paid. He gets +3/+0 on first strike. Chumps with the Sanctifier, takes 3 from the Spirit. Did he block the Spirit or the Prowler?
No, it's the Shrill Howler, I believe, and you can't block.
Well, that's the Kessig Prowler and Spirit of the Hunt. Alright, looks like he plays enchantment that exiles your creature. That was...
Choking Restraints.
No, that was not Choking Restraints. That was Faith Unbroken.
That's the one. Though he did go with the 2 Faith Unbroken for Choking Restraints. And that did feel strong at some points, but...
Life totals right now, Jake at 21 life, Dan's at 14.
That Lone Rider is just doing work.
Yeah, Lone Rider's flip now.
So note to self, Collective Defiance on the Lone Rider.
7.
Yeah. That +2/+2 and exiling my creature was not...
That's the old 2-for-1. The true 2-for-1 where you develop your board state and you decrease your opponent's board state. Alright, there's another captive. Thinking. That thumb is just going.
And so I'm going to go ahead and transform.
No, it looks like you were just reading, maybe?
Oh, yes. I was just checking the back of the transform card. But it looks like I'm thinking about it. Am I going to do it? Bends the card. Did you see that?
Passes the turn.
Very anxious. A lot of tells being revealed on the right side of the table.
Alright, those look like knights in Jake's hand. I'm not 100% sure. They're the paladins. Faith Bearer Paladin, I believe. That's what that's called.
Now you see another transformation trying to force the issue here. Maybe I can get rid of the Lone Rider by blocking. Little did I know it's got first strike.
Yeah, definitely has first strike. It's a beast. Alright, looks like you're lining up an attack possibly. Nope, just pass the turn. Playing defensively. You are at 7, that would make sense. Checking the Prowler. Or the captive, that is. Alright, another Fiend Binder.
I think at that point I was actually bluffing the transform, and there it is. There's the Waxing Moon for the instant transform.
Nice. Triple block. Aggressive triple block against the flipped Lone Rider.
You can see I'm just kind of taking my cards and looking at them. And, oh wait, that's the game.
Yeah, that would be the game. All right, so looks like Jake takes that one. Going on to game 2 here. So let us know in the comments anything that you think we could do better. We're just starting here, so all right. Game 2. Time to mulligan. No. The keep. Daniel starts. Mountain. Jake plays plains.
There's a whelp.
Figures out the double green is probably going to be the way to go there. Plays a captive, gets in for 2. Jake falls to 18. Jake follows up with Thalia. Passes back.
The great thing about this box battle and him having Thalia was that non-basic lands were non-existent in my deck.
Yeah, so Thalia's a limited advantage there.
Still, she's quite the threat and pretty intimidating, and so she has to die by the Defiance.
Looks like you got the 4 damage to the creature, 3 damage to the player, or did you choose to draw cards there?
I think that was the point where I actually
yeah.
targeted myself.
No, it looks like you had to target
the
Jake
opponent.
there.
Yeah.
He was drawing so many cards.
I figure it's best to use it as disruption at this point. And I think at this point it actually worked in my favor, if I'm not mistaken.
I can't tell how many cards you have in your hand, but I don't see a lot of cards played, so... yeah, looks like you got some decent cards in your hand. There's... what is that red spell?
That's actually assembled alphas.
Oh, I see. Thought it was a borrowed hostility. Alright, so you get in with Whelp again.
Deciding what to do here. I'm not quite sure what the play is in hand. Looks like he just passes the turn, so. Possible transform.
There's a Paladin. He played it for 4. Misplay there. It actually cost 5. No biggie, though. First time we're playing with these cards. Alright, Jake gets in with the Binder. And meets Clear Shot. Also really good spell in limited. It's very reminiscent of Tremoka's Command.
Yeah. Decent removal with the red-green werewolf build, which is kind of the why that I felt it was good enough with support and creatures. It just, at times, seemed to lull. Not a lot of draw, not a lot of other action outside of aggro.
There's a Choking Restraints.
Now we see the Choking Restraints.
But remember, Jake, he probably would have had to play some of these things last turn instead of the Paladin, and wouldn't be able to get in there. No big deal. Dano clears it up with hostility.
Yep, hostility. 2 modes, giving it first strike, I do believe.
Yeah, +3.
Yeah. So winning the battles. It was all about combat tricks, first strike, bonus damage, clear shot to fight. Yeah.
There's a Smoldering Werewolf. Clears out the Lone Rider.
Gets to ping in for 1. Kind of a valuable card in this format. If I would have seen more of that, I would have been happier with this deck.
I actually had 2 Smoldering Werewolves, and I contemplated
I played 2
red.
as well.
Ended up going red-white without wolves, kept it low to the ground. Alright, there's another Paladin, correctly casted for 5 mana. I think we are about to see the assembled alphas, so it looks like you're contemplating it. They cost 6 mana. You're going to attack first, probably a smart idea. Make him think you have combat tricks. He's tapped out, so there's nothing tricky going on his side.
So he just takes the damage. The block would be a little devastating, and again now we see another Choking Restraints. It's pretty devastating. We'll go ahead and instant transform with a Waxing Moon. There's also Trample.
There's the assembled alphas. That's what we're looking for.
Yeah, finally these assembled alphas. Card's a beast.
Flipped Uvenwald Captive. There's a Sanctifier of Souls on Jake's side. Passes back. Untaps. Jake checks out assembled alphas.
If I remember correctly, you played assembled alphas in your deck too, right?
Yeah, it was the top end of the deck.
Yeah.
Alright, looks like you play a Prowler and then get in with alphas and flipped captive. That's gonna, even if he blocks the alphas, he's taking 3 plus 4, so that's 7. And he's gonna scoop. Alright, so on to game 3.
On to game 3. The werewolves finally show up in a pack. And I get a win. Felt good using werewolves. People talked about playing them. I haven't seen any really outside of Brews and F&M. But I'm really hoping that maybe we'll start to see some competitive werewolves.
Believe it or not, I also ran red-white during the SOI pre-release. Used Stern Constable, same way I'm using the Sigardian Priest. Sigardian Priest is a reprint of another card. It's almost exactly the same. So like a functional reprint of an Innistrad card. I forget the name though. We missed the Innistrad block. We stopped playing back then for that time. Alright, anyways, back to the game. Looks like Jake plays Sanitarium. Activates it, cards the card. You play Shrill Howler.
I know we got the Shrill Howler.
Hungry. Rabid. Alright, Jake draws a Paladin.
And you guessed it, ladies and gentlemen, that's the Choking Restraints.
Locks up the Howler. Alright, there's a Prowler. Howler, Prowler. Drops the Paladin. No mistakes this time.
Yeah, solid gameplay from our amateur professionals.
We've been playing casually for about 15 years. In the last 5 years or so, we've started playing pretty competitively at F&Ms, PPTQs. We went to a 5K. I think we're going to try some more tournaments, maybe hit up some GPs.
No.
I don't know.
So we get the attack from the Prowler and the Transform. Faith Unbroken. Should be called Faith Broken because it's pretty busted right now.
And he just equipped or enchanted it and then got in. Well, there's a Collective Defiance, no extra modes, just choosing to
one of them in the deck.
discard and draw.
I have played it every game.
Yeah, I think I drew it majority of my games too. It's pretty solid when you get it and you can afford all the modes. It's a pretty broken spell. Alright.
So we got a Shrill Howler versus a +2/+2 buffed Priest.
There's Thalia's Lancers on Jake's side.
Now he's indicating he's going to search. That's a good pull.
Definitely want to grab one of those. 4/3 flying, vigilance, lifelink.
You gotta wonder though at this point, with as much mana as he had, that maybe Bruna might have been a good choice to lock this up.
Wait, does Gisela have vigilance, or is that first strike that she has?
First strike, lifelink, flying.
Yeah, that's correct. Looks like Jake had Lone Rider, Gisela, and Choking Restraints in hand. You play Prowler, pass back.
So I'm wondering what he's going to play right now. I have no idea. I'm completely clueless.
Could be an angel, possibly.
Yeah, it's a lie. It's definitely going to be an angel. At this point, I'm wondering, is Taco Bell still open? What am I thinking? Of course it is.
Got to get that 4th mill in. All right, so Gisela enters battlefield. Let's see what Jake does.
She's cool. I mean, and there you go, ladies. It's a choking restraint. I feel restrained, and I feel like choking him.
All right, so he gets in with Paladin, with Faith Unbroken, and Thalia's Lancers. Gaining life off that Paladin each time.
You know, this game just keeps going and going.
Looks like that is a one of the captives.
Possibly a captive, yeah. And so now we're tapping.
There's Bruna on Jake's side. He's going to pass the turn and morph them, or meld them. That's right, meld them together.
Manifest them together. And that's quite intimidating, ladies and gentlemen. When you see a 9/7 flying trample haste, lifelink like Prince Ormondal, that's quite intimidating. However, when you see 2 cards stacked on top of each other like some goddamn transformer, you gotta ask yourself.
And it also makes your guys' hands look like baby hands. And that's the game. Looks like that's the game, folks. Baby's hands.